NBC News is reporting that a federal grand jury here in Washington, D.C. has approved the first charges in the special counsel's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. The indictment we are expecting will be made public today. It's not clear who is getting indicted, how many indictments we're talking about, or even what the underlying alleged crimes might have been. But that report coming out on Friday fueled the weekend, as you're talking about, of speculation as to exactly what's going on here. The president very frustrated over the weekend, tweeting out a number of things, including this missive saying all of this Russia talk right when Republicans are making their big push for historic tax cuts and reform. Is this coincidental? Not. The president had a number of seemingly angry and frustrated tweets over the weekend, but his attorney put out a statement yesterday saying that this had nothing to do with the special counsel investigation. Ty Cobb saying, contrary to what many have suggested, the president's comments today are unrelated to the activities of the special counsel, with whom he continues to cooperate. So, who could possibly be in the hot seat right now? It is not clear. Speculation has centered on Mike Flynn, the former national security advisor, and also Paul Manafort, the president's former campaign chief, as possible targets of the investigation here. Whether they would be the officials indicted today, unclear. It could also be some very minor or peripheral people involved in the story that the special counsel's office would be going after today. We'll just have to wait and see. It could happen later on in the afternoon. Not necessarily going to be a dramatic early morning arrest here. You could have a situation where the people just simply report to court after their defense attorneys have been notified of the indictment, guys.
I mean, it has been reported that Manafort was told he was going to be indicted at some point, right?
Yeah, it's been reported that he expected to be indicted at some point.
I thought someone told him that. Yeah. So we're trying to. Is it a Mueller Monday? We call it a Mueller Monday, or Manafort Monday, or a General Mike Monday? We don't know at this point. Yeah, right? It could be.
We just don't know. It could be anybody, and you can imagine that the media will be on high alert at all the courthouses that are relevant here. And we'll see if we see somebody going into court, somebody prominent. Or it could be a minor official, a family member, a lower level figure. I mean, there's been a lot of reporting about the Foreign Agents Registration Act, which requires lobbyists here in Washington to register if they're representing foreign governments. And there's some indication that maybe investigators have looked into the idea that lobbyists haven't been properly filing those disclosures and have been secretly working for foreign governments. That could be an issue here as well.
Yeah.
Just,
Eamon,
a whole range of things.
I saw a lot of conjecture about transactions with Manafort in terms of things that may or may not be evidence of laundering of money going back. Well, that was all over the place, all over the weekend. So I don't know whether that. And then I also saw that in previous situations like this, it might be low level because they start out low level and they squeeze these guys to try to move up the chain or something. So
yeah, I mean, old-fashioned FBI technique is you get somebody lower level in the organization, whether it's the mafia or a criminal enterprise or a white-collar fraud. You put the pressure on that person and you say, you know, we can give you a slightly better deal here if you give us some information on the guy up the food chain from you. And a lot of times people look at, 10 years in prison versus 1 year in prison, and then they'll say, I'm going to give up the information.
Okay.
But we don't know what's going on here, and we'll just have to wait to see later in the day.
Hey, I mean, real quick, the two other things that happened, though, that are related to this, the Journal over the weekend calling for the resignation of Mr. Mueller. What's the backstory there?
Yeah, well, it's unlikely to happen. Mueller's fully engaged here, and you saw a number of Republicans over the weekend come out and say, in fact, Mueller needs the space to do the job. Even the president is not calling for Mueller to resign. The president is saying simply he wants this to be wrapped up as quickly as possible because he wants to get on with the business of the country. The president has called all of this a hoax and a witch hunt, but he's also said that he wants Mueller to do the job and get it done quick.
And then the other real quick question, I don't know if you saw the Axios report over the weekend about Bannon and Trump planning to go after Paul Singer of Elliott Management, somebody that we've talked to historically, and ultimately may have funded some of the original Russian dossier reporting.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. There was a report over the weekend that Paul Singer, the hedge fund investor, through a subsidiary of his called the Washington Free Beacon, which is a conservative news publication here in D.C., had financed Fusion GPS, which was the private investigative firm that produced the dossier on Donald Trump, which became so controversial earlier this year. According to the reporting, and I can't verify any of this myself, but according to what came out over the weekend, Singer's outfit paid for some research into Donald Trump through the private investigative firm. And that firm later took on a Democratic candidate, the Democratic National Committee, and Hillary Clinton, who paid for additional research, and that ended up becoming the dossier. So there's questions about whether or not the Singer actually financed the dossier itself or just some earlier unrelated research that became powerful here in terms of the politics of it.
But then he paid for some of the inaugural, they
Singer
got back
flipped.
Together. Singer and Trump got
flipped.
back together. Yeah,
he was a never-Trumper. He did not want Trump. He wanted Marco Rubio.
Right.
And he financed some investigation into Trump's background in order to presumably politically damage Donald Trump. And then when Trump was elected, Singer donated, I believe it was $1 million to the inaugural committee. And then has been touted by the president publicly as having visited the White House at least once that I'm aware of. So that's, a political flip-flop on the part of Singer, who was investigating the guy and then donating to his inauguration and participating in the administration.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.